The Forex market is open 24 hours a day from 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday through 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. While this provides traders with the opportunity to trade at any time, whether it's during the day or night, there are better time windows to trade that a successful Forex trader should be aware of. What makes a better trading time is when the market is most active, where trading volume is greater. So looking at this chart, we can see the different market hours and then any time when two markets overlap. So this is kind of a nice chart where we have everything kind of on a 24-hour scale. We have AM and PM, and this is all Eastern Standard Time, U.S. Eastern Standard Time, that is. And so these hours kind of listed out. So in New York, roughly around 8 a.m. That's when the traders, whether they're employed at a large institution or a hedge fund, they typically arrive at their desk around 8 a.m. and then they will kind of be actively trading up until around 5 p.m. Kind of when they'll call it quits, call it a day. Same thing applies for the London, Sydney, and Tokyo markets. So you can kind of see, each of these, time periods, all in Eastern Standard Time for the various, major kind of financial markets. And then secondly, one thing to note is the overlap between certain markets. So the first and certainly the most significant is this overlap between London and New York. And so that's from 8 a.m. To 12 o'clock noon, and this is where you're going to see some of the greatest trading volume, because you have two active markets or regions trading these these currency markets. And then also while not as significant, you do have overlap between Sydney and Tokyo. That's between 7 p.m. and 2 a.m. Right there. And then you also have overlap between London and Tokyo, very small, not super significant, but from this 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. 1 hour block. And so really you can utilize this information to increase your odds for making winning trades. In general, greater volumes mean narrower bid-ask spreads, whereby it will cost you less to trade. So the New York and London markets, 8 a.m. through 12 p.m. Overlap, which I mentioned, represents a key time slot for many traders. So New York and London are the two largest markets by volume, and the more trading opportunities tend to present themselves during this window. So let's consider two other factors why these windows are better trading periods and why they present more trading opportunities. So these two things are institutional trading and market events, and I briefly kind of touched on institutional trading, but institutional traders typically trade during these market hours. For example, large New York hedge funds and other Wall Street firms are most active during these hours, and because they are really the ones driving the market and volumes, you will see greater volatility during these times, ultimately providing more trading opportunities. Also, major market moving events are typically scheduled during this hour. So the Fed, typically won't make an important monetary policy announcement outside of these normal market hours, while traders are away from their desks. So you're also going to see, major market moving events within these hours. And this is certainly something that you can see. The patterns are certainly evident. If you were to log into a demo account and just look at currency prices during peak trading hours and compare those with off-peak trading hours, you really do see a difference in terms of, just the volatility and how the markets are trading. So kind of, maybe during this, 8 a.m. through noon London, New York overlap period, you'll certainly see a lot more, whether it's, trending markets, an uptrend or a downtrend where there is significant volume to push markets in one direction, while, kind of in a more quiet period, you might see markets that are more range bound just because there's less, volume and traders out there to really push a currency in a certain direction. So see if you can notice that. Definitely kind of, log into your demo account and just try and spot any of these differences between peak and off-peak trading hours. So definitely do that, and looking forward to the next lesson.